Welcome to another episode of Moms Know Best podcast series. Through this series, we interview people who manage and launch brands in the kids and mom space. I'm Akanksha Kedia, the CEO of Moms Know Best, a fast-growing, vibrant community for moms, of moms, by moms. And today I have with me Rini Talwar, who is the marketing head of Mumum Company. Rini, why don't you introduce yourself for our audience?
Hi guys, I'm so happy to be here. Thanks Akanksha for having me over.
Yes.
So I'm Rini Talwar, mom to Rivan, who's almost 3, and I'm the marketing head at the healthiest snack food brand called Mumum Co. I'm the marketing head when I say stuff like that on camera. But I joined them not so long back, and mostly because I love the team that's there. Shreya and Farah run it. The 2 moms, just brilliant, great entrepreneurs, lovely ladies, and very, very good bosses. So I really enjoy working with them.
Why don't you take us through the idea of Mumum Co for the audience who doesn't know about the brand?
So I'll tell you quickly. So Shreya and Farah basically started it because they had no snacking or healthy packet snacking options for the kids. This is about 3 years back, and they started experimenting at home. Came up with great products like the crunchies. They have the melties, which is 100% fruit, and then they have the protein puffs. The reason I actually believe in the product is because they have no added sugar, no preservatives, no artificial flavors, basically no junk. You turn the package, you read it, and that's what your kids are getting. Rivan eats it 3-4 times a week. If he could have it more, he'd definitely take it more. But more than me, my nanny is really strict about some home snacks for him.
Yes.
So that's the company for you.
Okay, and so it's in the healthy eating space, right? And nowadays you think moms are getting more conscious about what they are feeding their children. What do you think is bringing about this shift in the way they're thinking?
I think it's a multiple things, right? As moms, actually just as women, everyone's a lot more fitness conscious, I think, than say our parents' generation. Everyone wants to be that size 0, size 2, and the only way to get there is 70% food and 30% workouts. And as a mom, trust me, no one has time to work out most of the days. So you're eating healthy. If you're eating healthy, you want your kids to eat healthy. Most of the times I think moms struggle with finding a good snack option because kids snack 2 or 3 times. Wait till you have a child and you'll find out how difficult that gets. I think Mumum kind of fills that gap for you. They give you healthy, like I said, no added sugar and no artificial flavors. There's no nature substitute, nature-like substances. It's literally what you get. What you read is what you get. And I think that gap is filled by companies specifically like Mumum, where moms, especially working moms like me, who don't always have the time to even instruct their mates to get stuff done for them.
I think also the time, like you said, right? There's less time and there's more variety of junk. So you want variety of healthy snacks for your kids.
Absolutely, because otherwise they're going to pick up whatever they see, and the older they get, it's tougher to control them, right? With a snack like Mumum, they believe they're getting junk food or peppy food. Or finger foods, but they are actually extremely good and healthy for them.
And I think also it's about introducing healthy eating habits at a young age, so that when they're older, they are able to manage, eating healthy even later on.
Absolutely, right? Like, I mean, honestly, also while growing up, we had simpler food. Our parents gave us dal, chawal, sabji and roti, and there was no pasta and pizza and all this like maide wala food as they call it. And I think we grew up, and then in our 20s as adults, we ate all of that.
We started eating all of it, suddenly, unleashed.
India, I think as India, we also grew into it because we got more restaurants, a lot more exposure to international, foods. And I think as we got into our 30s, and I'm in my 30s, and I realized, listen, this food's not doing me any good. It's so hard to control your weight, especially after a child. And I started finding substitutes. As an adult, you start finding substitutes. So instead of having maida pasta, I was having whole wheat pasta. And so similarly, instead of giving my kids the Lays and the that kind of stuff, fried food and packages, I'd rather always find an alternative like Mumum for them.
Okay, so I believe that Mumum Company is a brand that's made or built on marketing. Marketing is its main way of pushing, right, to the audience for them to know. So, what do you think is the hurdles that they had to overcome when they were getting into the marketing of Mumum Company?
as any startup, I think the biggest hurdle that marketing, the department faces, I would say, is that it's taken to be an added expense, right?
Yes.
And so the cost or the money allocated to marketing is not always sufficient to get a new brand like a Mumum out in the market. I think what they did brilliantly though is they've used and utilized their connections extremely well. Both Shreya and Farah and now me were very well connected with the bloggers and with the influential moms. And we've been very lucky to have moms that support us and support the cause. And the minute a mom supports a cause, you can make out when she talks about it. She's very determined. She believes in it. And so she's determined to get the messaging out.
Yes.
And I think the past 3 years, as I've as a mom seen them grow, and now I'm heading the marketing department. I think the goodwill these two girls have built for their brand is amazing. They have some great moms, influential moms that believe in their product and use it, and we've never had to request them to post or talk or any of it.
So, but what advice would you give to other people who are maybe getting into the startup phase of launching maybe a food brand or any brand in the kids and mom space? How would they go about their marketing if they don't have the connections? Then what can they do?
So as a startup, spend some time, get a good marketing head, make sure you do your research and allocate funds appropriately to what is important to you. So if the social media world is important, and I think honestly it is for all brands nowadays, allocate good amount of funds, and I also am talking as an influencer in the space. Please don't go to people and say do this for free. No one has time to do stuff for free, and it's work for everyone. So be kind, and grow your bloggers to become your fans, grow them to become your spokespeople, and I think if you pay them well, they're going to do it for you, and they'll do a good job with it.
So your journey has been from a microbiologist to a PR executive and now to a marketing head, right?
It's been a long journey.
It's been a long journey, and also it's been a very different industry that you started off with and what you're doing. So if there are many people who are trying to make that switch in their career, or maybe they're planning, they've been a stay-at-home mom and they want to get back working. So what is the advice, or what would you want to tell them that you may have learned or picked up, any tips that you've picked up when you were trying to make that switch?
So I actually did microbiology, graduated in ages back. I don't want to give my age away, so very, very long back. And I came back to Bombay. My family's based here, and I was abroad for 7 years, came home, and I started working in a lab in Bombay.
Okay.
And I realized it's really boring, and you don't get to talk to anyone except bacteria and viruses who don't speak back to you. While I was there, I was really lucky to have a boss that moved me into the marketing department, right? Yeah. And so I was doing marketing for pharmaceuticals. Again, not a lot of fun, but it's where I switched into marketing, and I realized that a brand can be built based purely on marketing and PR, right?
Yes.
I did that for a while, moved into PR because a friend of mine worked at a PR agency. She's like, hey, we have an opening, and I started really low. I was Xeroxing stuff and stuff, and I started and getting people coffee. It was literally that
like
bad.
The intern level.
It was an unpaid internship, right? For 3 months till I proved myself, and I got to be a manager at the end of when I left, which was great for me. And it was at a very short span. I finished that. I realized, unfortunately, PR is coming to its culmination in India, right?
Yes.
Everything's paid, and so why would someone pay me? And I honestly, even with friends, with startups, I tell them, don't pay a PR agency, go and pay the journalist you want, or the paper that you want. It's unfortunate or fortunate, I'm not sure, but that's where we are. Social media came about. When we were in PR, there was no Instagram, there were no bloggers, nothing existed, right? Which is where I again switched into doing something with online bloggers and kind of connecting startups with the right influencers, and an influencer could be anyone, a normal mom that has an open account, all the way up to bloggers that spend all the time talking about different brands that could be helpful, right? So I think that's what I did. I think it's about evaluating where the market is, and also accepting that you have to change with it, right? So if I sat there and said, I'm just going to keep doing PR, it would have gotten redundant, and I wouldn't be where I am. So it's just about, I think...
you have to constantly grow with the changes that are happening.
And I study a lot, and by study, I'm a nerd. I've always been, I did medical molecular microbiology, for God's sake. So I study a lot, I spend a lot of time online doing courses, or just in general reading up a lot about what's going on in terms of trends, in terms of how to evaluate marketing campaigns and stuff like that.
Yes.
And for honestly stay-at-home moms, I think there is nothing called a stay-at-home mom. Man, you're working harder than any working mom can ever work, because we get away with saying, I'm working, sorry, I can't do this and I can't be here. So first and foremost, hats off to you girls. You make us look bad. You do. And but I think for a stay-at-home mom that wants to come back to work, find somewhere where people appreciate what your talent base is, right?
Yes.
So like with my mom, I don't work full days. I work 10 to 6, which is a very rare phenomena for a marketing head.
Yes.
Right? I don't work Fridays because they're very nice about the fact that my child's young and I still need to be home for it.
Yeah.
So find a company that will appreciate your talent and will accept you to be a mom and understand what you get to the table.
Yeah. Right. So what do you think about that? Like, what is the supermom syndrome that everyone's talking about? Like, they want to put everyone first and they want to be there for everyone and do everything for everyone. How should moms handle that? Or is it true? Does that exist? Does that not exist? What do you think?
I think it does exist, as I think all moms are super moms only because they do manage a bit too much, right?
Yeah.
I think every mom is a super mom.
Yeah.
Because no matter what you're doing, you're juggling insane amounts of egos, people's emotions. My maid has an ego. I told her yesterday the aloo wasn't cut right, and oh my god, she sulked about this for 2 days since then. And today she's like, I cannot cook, I'm not feeling well. I'm like, then why did you show up? But literally, you're managing egos from your mother-in-law to your maids. But I also think, especially for working moms, the only way I work is because I have my mother-in-law and my mother and my maids that take over the minute I leave home, and I can trust them.
It takes a village, right?
They say it takes a village, and I didn't believe it, and I didn't believe in a joint family, and now I beg my mother-in-law to come and live with me. Mom, if you're listening, please come and live with me. But literally, when I got married, I wanted to live by myself because I'm like, nuclear family, we're cool, we'll live by ourselves.
I'll have the freedom, I'll be able to do whatever I want, however I want.
And you have a child and the freedom's gone. There's no freedom. All you're doing is literally running. I wake up at 7 and I finish my day at 8, and I promise you there's not a second I'm not managing someone or something.
Yeah.
And for the mom guilt, it just remains. I think after 2.5 years, I've found a way to deal with it.
Yeah.
And that's all. I'll try my best, and if I can't make it, I've realized you're still the best mom he's going to have.
Yes.
And you just flow with it.
Does life for a man change as much as it changes for a woman?
So I can't talk about men in general because I think each man, like a woman, is pretty different, right? But I'm really lucky. I have a husband that's super hands-on, so I can't do mornings. I'm not a morning person. I wake up at 7 and I say I do, but I'm out of my bed only at 8.
You need that 1 hour to yourself.
I just need 1 hour, not bhabhi dahi nahi and bhabhi this nahi and mama I need this. So my husband's the person that wakes up in the morning, does the whole morning routine, bathing him, feeding him breakfast and all of that. But I think what's easier for men is they're not so emotionally driven. I think as a woman, we take everything really hard on ourselves. Like I'm saying, I've fought with my cook because of something. It'll stay with me the whole day.
Yeah, you're thinking about it.
My husband doesn't care. He's like, if she's sulking, she'll get over it. We're paying her to do a job, like we're paid. It's okay. But for me, I can't have anyone upset. I can't have anyone sulking. If my mom's upset because I didn't call her at 2:30 as promised because I'm in a meeting, it'll stay with me. With my husband, he'll just call and be like, hey, I don't care. I was busy. I just think the biggest difference between dads and moms are way more emotionally driven.
Yes.
And we take on the hassle of pleasing too many people.
Yeah. But do you think that comes to work as well? Like that emotional part, is there any rub off or any positive of having that for work?
I think it is, because I think if you're as an emotionally driven woman, you're also that much more attached to doing your job well, that much more attached to your teammates.
Yes.
Like I said, I'm very particular. I don't like people in my team being upset. So if someone's upset, I'm not someone that leaves it. While a male counterpart of me would just be like, she'll get over it.
Yes.
So I'm someone that wants to chat and like chill and figure it out. And I shed a tear and she sheds a tear. And the whole drama takes place. But I honestly think emotions are a woman's biggest armor. I cry at the drop of a hat. I cry if I'm stuck in traffic and I'm hungry. And I cry at work sometimes because I'm just having a bad day. And I don't care. I'm not apologetic, and I've never been. I'm brought up. My dad cries, man. So me and my dad.
So what tips would you give to any startup in the kids and mom space? What can they do to build a startup in this space?
So I think, again, know your audience. If your audience is the 0 to 2, then talk to them. And the way to talk to them is find the moms before they have had their kids. Do smaller events, do niche events, talk to, again, I think moms have become really open to advice from bloggers.
Yes,
You know,
yeah.
and I think bloggers are doing fantastic work. There are some really good ones across India, and I don't mean by numbers, but literally by the advice they give you. And I did that. I went online and I searched a lot, and I think go to the right bloggers, find the right people that can get your messaging to your audience. But the top 3 thing is, most people don't know who their audience is. Figure out who your audience is. Figure out where they are based out of,
Yes.
and figure out the spokespeople that can get your messaging to them.
Yeah, I think that's really great advice for them. So, but like, suppose, you know, you said like the budget for marketing,
Yeah.
you need to have set it aside,
Yeah.
right? But if if it's a startup that doesn't have any money,
Yeah.
right? What would be your advice to them? Like they have a product and they've invested everything in producing it.
Yeah.
Now they need to just market it.
Correct.
So how should they go about that then?
You know, that's a tough one unless you have great connections or
Yeah.
you have goodwill in the industry, which means with PR people, with social media
Yes.
influencers. I think it's a tough place to be in.
Yes.
You could send out your products to the right influencers and kind of talk to them and explain to them. And I
Yeah.
think a lot of influencers now, if they love your product and if your product is innovative and it adds something to their
Yeah.
life, they will talk about it.
Yes.
Right, so that's one way to go about it. But honestly, I've not ever worked with a company. Thankfully, that's not
No.
had enough money, so I wouldn't be the person to advise someone
Yeah.
for it.
So back to Mumum Company
Yeah.
and the price point of the
Yeah.
product,
Correct.
right? Some people, like when I've spoken to a few
Yeah.
moms, they find Mumum Company a bit expensive
Correct.
on the higher side
Yeah.
for a snack for their
Yeah.
child. So what do you have to say about the price point that
Right.
you've approached for this brand,
Right.
and what are your future plans?
So I'll say this: it's like buying white bread versus brown bread. White bread's for $20 and we buy brown bread for $55 because we do believe that it's better. Bread is a snack. In India, we don't have bread as a main course ever. It's a toast in the morning, maybe a sandwich. So if you're spending that on yourself, spend that on your kids, because it's important, like you said, health begets health, right? Healthy foods beget healthy bodies. And I think Mumum's honestly not expensively priced. They have the Melties, which is 100% fruits. So you're giving your child bananas, frozen. I don't, I won't put a price to that.
Yeah.
Having said that, we did bring down our pricing on, or rather we introduced a new product at 20
Yes.
for 20 grams, which are the puffs. Extremely healthy, again, more Indianized flavors as well, with the
Yeah.
masala magic
Yeah.
and masala madness and stuff like that. So I think we do have the newer flavors with a lower price point for the moms that are worried about pricing.
So do you think, this podcast is called Moms Know Best.
Yeah.
So do you really think that moms do know the best when it comes to their kids?
Of course, moms know best. It's your kid, you know them best. And like I said, you're the best mom for your kids, so any decision you make has to be the best for your child.
And do you have any advice that you'd like to give to moms or any people who are listening to this podcast or watching this podcast?
As a new mom especially, I'll tell you to just be chill. It gets better. You will get your sleep back, you'll get your social life back, you'll get your body back. Don't stress about it.
Yeah.
It gets easier. And for the moms that have had kids for a long enough time, it does get easier. But find time for yourselves. I think as a mom, sometimes, or actually most of the times, people forget themselves. And I don't mean forget themselves where they're not looking good or all of that, but I mean just, take an hour out, read a book, watch a show. And I mean away from your husband, away from everyone, just for yourself.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying do it every day. No mom has time. 1 hour a day is too much. But find an hour a week, maybe get a massage. But just find that little bit of time, because I feel, a happy mom makes a happy baby.
Yeah.
And you come out refreshed and you come out missing your child. And that kind of makes everything a little bit better.
Yes, that I think on that note, moms
Yes.
do know best,
Moms
Rini,
do
and
know
thank
best.
you so much for being a part
Thanks
of our
for having me here.
Yes. So guys, if you have any queries, please feel free to email us info@momsknowbest.in. Do check out our website www.momsknowbest.in and do subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Instagram. Until next time, thank you for watching. Bye.